Well, how's everybody doing? Man Cave Sports back with another edition of Puck Wild, our weekly program to discuss all things Minnesota Wild. Wild coming off of a wild, pun intended, 8-7 victory last night uh, in a game that saw the return of a couple of players that have been out for a while. So, 3 games left in the season, lots to talk about. We don't have to go into too much detail over the last week. I know they also the Wild had a big win Sunday over Dallas, but we're down here to the final stretch. Players return, a lot of players that obviously two that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. So I'll start with you, Brian. Just talk a little bit about the return of Ek and Kirill last night in a game against San Jose and just how the game unfolded and whatnot.
Hey, holy heck. All I got to say, I don't know if I'm a homer and I just love my hockey team that much, or like the feeling that gave me last night, just watching them back out there. And it's always concerning if you give up 7 goals, I mean, you can never be happy with an 8-7 win. But however, in the words of Mike Letourneau, last night was different. Man, just having those guys back out there, not having Matt Boldy being our number one offense or option, Zuccarello, them holding on to the puck, and every home game, shoot, that being gone, it was so much fun, so much fun. I'm gonna get a hold of my bookie. His name is Guido. He's out of Atlantic City, and I'm gonna be thinking about my options on that. And the 7 goals given up, you got to be concerned about your blue line. You have to be. But last night was different. We are built from the blue line just because of that Suter and the Parisi thing, the buyouts. That's how Billy G has set this up. I mean, we're stronger than heck on that part. So I'm not worried about the 7 goals. I'm not worried about the Flower thing. Flower getting his last home victory. Hats off to him, man. Uh, I'm beyond excited. And here's the other thing: we got a puck moving defenseman that we drafted last year. That's in the Frozen Four. He kind of reminds me of that Colorado Avalanche guy, Cale Makar. Uh, that puck on his stick, we might get a little bit of bonus, and I can't be more thrilled about the playoffs than I am right now.
All right, we can get to the playoffs here in a second, but you brought up a valid point in regards to the defense. Obviously, Fleury didn't have his greatest game. Might be his last, probably his last home start, minus regular, at least regular season minus playoffs. But Steve, tell us what you think. Not specifically about Fleury's play last night per se, but what his role may or may not be as they finish these final 3 games up as well as into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think if we can get this next game, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. We if we beat Calgary, we're in. Then it's whether you got the seventh or eighth, whatever. You're not going against cupcakes either way. So I could see them having Gus play against Calgary, secure the victory. Let's just make sure we're cemented in the playoffs, and then I could see them having him play one or play the last one or play the last two just to give Gus a break going into the playoff stretch. And then once we're in the playoffs, it'll be one of those things where Gus will probably do like game one, and then game two might be then Fleury, and then the rest of the way might be Gus again. So they'll use him for spot duty. I love the guy. He's an amazing person, amazing competitor. Last night was not his best showing. We'll just say that. But you know what? When our offense is exploding the way it is, that's you'll kind of take the excitement. Yeah. But yeah, I could see him. If we get this next win with Gus in net, then we could see Fleury the last 2 games, and then give Gus a break coming into the playoffs.
Yeah, and you talked a little bit about tomorrow night's tilt versus Calgary, which is a huge game in Calgary. Obviously, last night's win, as well as the win over Dallas, were huge. Calgary's been coming on as of late. Obviously, in the rearview mirror. I mean, basically, they can all but wrap things up tomorrow night with the W. After Calgary, they have the Canucks and the Ducks here, which a little lesser teams, but still teams that are going to show up and try to spoil something. So hopefully they can get the W tomorrow night. Brian, preview that because I'm not familiar with Calgary. Obviously, if is there anything in particular you're looking forward to for tomorrow night's big tilt?
Oh, I'm looking forward as in the immortal words of Michael Eterno, I digress and go back to my last statement. Right now, I'm just so excited. I can't wait to watch the game just because of what was it? Kaprizov played 38 games. Ek played 43. And then just how we had Hines and Jacques Lemaire together just to do all this. I'm absolutely beyond thrilled to see what we're going to get. I mean, it's like a blessing. Calgary's scrappy. I mean, and they've been scrappy for the last 20, 23 days. You can't, and we're on the road. But the thing is, we kill on the road. We're the league's best road team. Hey, we win, we're in. And I do, this might come as a shock to you. I disagree with Mr. Steve. There's no way we're sitting Gus and rolling Flower the next two games if we win. You got to Stanley Cup playoffs is about defense, being a badass, and good goaltending. So I think they're going to want to keep Gus a little sharp, and it all comes down to that game.
All right, and we'll see what happens tomorrow night. But either way, they're obviously in a great position to get this wild card spot. Steve, I know we talked a little bit before we went on air here about where they stand and potential opponents. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's Winnipeg if the season were to end today. But obviously, there's 3 games left. Some things could change. Tell us what the Wild playoff landscape looks like as it sits today, and what could shake and bake in the next few days that could change that.
Yeah, so it really depends on if St. Louis stays hot. If they stay hot, and then we could end up going against Vegas. Right now, Naughton thinks, yeah, let's go get them. Well, Ek, Kirill coming back, they looked amazing. No, not taking anything. That was a lot of fun watching those guys just go, and it was almost like an afterthought that San Jose was scoring. They're like, oh, by the way, they scored again. But I tell you what, I don't know that I want to go after Vegas right away, but whatever. So depending on what shakes out the last couple of games here, is if we beat Calgary, we're in. There's nothing for us to worry about. If we lose to Calgary, it gets a little bit dicier because if Calgary wins out and we lose out, we're out. If we can pick up 3 points in the last 3 games, we own the tiebreaker with Calgary. They're done, right? So we're sitting pretty right now, but the best way for us to handle it is just beat Calgary, put the nail in that coffin, and then, yes, they will play Fleury at least one to get this last game out of his mouth because they need him to be sharp too for the playoffs, because if Gus gets run over or something, what are you going to do? But yeah, I'd be okay with a Winnipeg series because I look at that as a little bit more of a rivalry than Vegas, and I like the rivalry series, and so I know people think we've matched up better with Vegas, but I've never really liked our time against Vegas, to be honest. But maybe I'm just hurt because they took all our guys in the expansion draft that we had that we liked. But anyways, yeah. So Vegas or Winnipeg, depending on how St. Louis. I think it's we're going to be in. I don't see us like crapping the bed in Calgary shooting the moon here for the last 4 games. So we'll be in. It really just depends on kind of what St. Louis does right now. Whether we finish 7th or 8th, but Winnipeg or Vegas, that's what it is.
Brian, you obviously want Vegas. What's the rationale behind that?
Well, because Mr. Steve doesn't want Vegas, and that is what I want to do. He's still pissed off about Alex Tuck 10 years ago. I mean, Mr. Yeah. Steve, come on.
And what did he do? So, all right. I'm just...
Hey.
Enjoy the season.
I want Vegas, and let's go. I don't want anything to do with Winnipeg. And as my friend, Mr. Steve, said, that I kind of want Winnipeg because it's a rivalry game, and I didn't see anything good about us matching up against Vegas. That's the last thing we want is a rivalry game. Let's go to Vegas.
All right. And
Asking, do you like really want to go to Vegas and like watch? Is that what the thought is here that we actually fly and
we will be hosting a playoff preview show, perhaps depending upon when they start next week. So we can talk about the matchup when the matchup, comes to fruition. As Denny Green said, if you want to talk about the book, which we're not going to do, then you can do that. Anyways, with that, we do not have our esteemed colleague Gary here today. He just texted me he had a late flight getting in work related. So Gary, we will hopefully see you next week. Gentlemen, I will go around the horn with any final thoughts and start with you, Mr. Steve.
Yeah, I'm feeling the buzz just like Mr. Naughton here is Mr. Benani. It was a lot of fun watching. It was so good. The boys looked good. They were flying. Everybody loosened up. I got to see Moose actually go out and just lay some people out, and he didn't have to worry about trying to, get in the game and do a lot of scoring. He could just go be him, which is what I love about the Moose. So, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really positive. I'm looking forward to the postseason here, and go Wild.
All right, be naughty. Close us out.
You already know how I feel. I mean, I'm calling Guido in Atlantic City. I'm looking at it. Everything's lining up. Notre Dame is thinking. I'm liking what I see, and I can't be more excited about the future than I am.
All right, well, gentlemen, appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. Big game tomorrow night, 9:00 Central, and we will see you guys next week. More than likely with a playoff preview. So go Wild, gentlemen. We will talk to you later.